Yes. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Security Talks, where we discuss and we interact with security professionals to understand their journey, to understand how they brought themselves into this career, and learning from their experience. Some there should be something that they will be sharing us, and these information will help the beginners, will help the people who are trying to begin their career in cybersecurity, and they would be able to follow these tips or footsteps. So there's a lot of learnings that's gonna be in this particular session, and today we have one of our special guest, Mr. Vivek M. Mr. Vivek is currently working with Crossbow Labs as a security engineer, and Vivek has done his BSc graduation in information security and digital forensics. So, on behalf of CyberSapiens team, Vivek, I welcome you to this Security Talks show.
Yeah, hi Hamza. Hi
Hi,
everyone.
Vivek. There you are. How are you doing, Vivek?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. I'm good too. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you for joining us. And I'm sure there's a lot of things to, where our viewers would be learning from your journey. So without wasting any time, let's get on to the topic, the discussion. So Vivek, I see that, you have done your BSc in information security and digital forensics.
Yeah.
So tell me, how did you choose this particular degree? Who introduced you to this particular stream?
Actually, it's a long story. I got into this field very accidentally.
Okay.
Uh, I think I pointed out when I joined CyberSapiens also, I'm coming from a biology background actually. I knew nothing about computers or networking. So actually after my 12th, my major was in biomax and was good in biology. So I don't know what to do, in the next step. So I got a call from a consulting agency and they told that they have a bunch of, different courses which you can
Mhm.
check out. So I went to there and they just point out a course. So at that point of time, the information security part was not there. They just told that it's forensics, not even digital
Okay.
forensics. So
Okay.
as a biology guy, I thought that, the forensic, it's, a different field you can try. I'm not that into engineering or math. So let's try something different. And
Okay.
they told that there's a campus selection. So no, campus visit. So we went there with a couple of other students, and at there the professor told us that it's not what you meant. It's information security and digital forensics, and you need to be a
Okay.
computer geek to pursue this.
Okay.
But even I was shocked at that time. But the professor was able to convince that it's a booming course.
Mm.
There, you have opportunities in there, and there are I mean, less competition, and there are there are a lot of opportunities with people who have that skills. And also I went back home. I researched about it. And I understand that it's an very good course, but you have to take the risk. Even though I don't have any computer knowledge, the only thing I used my computer was to play GTA Vice City. So it was difficult for me, but I was really convinced by the job, by the reading blogs, and also I understood that if I have a if I was able to penetrate into that skill
Mm.
set, it will be an my career will be very good. So I took the risk and I went for the degree and yeah, and here am I.
Very good, Vivek. I mean, a person who had no idea about cybersecurity, who never, imagined that he would get into IT or, I mean, cybersecurity was very far. Like,
Yeah,
and you took up the risk, and you said that you came back home from the college and you did some research and blogs,
yeah.
right? So, what was that one factor? I mean, which interested you, which made you to take the risk? What was that one factor?
Actually, it was the the career opportunities you have and the and the competition. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
take any field like the MBBS or engineering, there are a lot of people passing out, and there are less much job. To you need to be that in elite league to get a good opportunity. But for cybersecurity, I found out that there is a lot of opportunity, but it's not that easy. You need to have the right skills. But the one thing it drew me is that talking funny, it was about the movies. If you see a lot of English, see a lot of English movies, and it's
Yeah.
cool thing to hack NASA and all. So the one thing is that it's to find loopholes or find hack something which the administrators or the corporates think it's secure. So to do that, it's a wonderful skill, and I really thought
Mm.
it's cool to do. And when
Mm.
I researched that, a lot of companies are putting a lot of budgets into their cybersecurity. A lot of attacks are happening. And the other thing is that the thing which drew me is that even if you are in an advanced level or an intermediate level, if you I mean, if you have that experience, still you will be finding a new thing daily to learn
Yeah.
and research. So that's the thing which drew me, and I love to do research and to learn new things.
Yes, yes. So that reminds me of, because I also, when I was deciding what to do next, I got to know about cybersecurity and, ethical hacking. So one very important and, decision that you took is understanding this particular domain, right?
Yeah,
Which many of the students, when they are planning, thinking to take some degree or any courses, they don't think. They
yeah,
just do it because someone has told. But you did the right thing, Vivek. You're when you went to the college, they introduced you, but you came back and you tried to understand whether this is something which I can do, whether this is something which should interest me, and you did a
yeah,
research and then you took the decision. And I think this is a very important thing that every student has to be doing before they take up any course, any degree. It could be any degree,
yeah,
right? So you have been really wise in making the decision there. So currently you are working as a security engineer, right?
yeah.
And which year did you pass out? Which year did you complete your graduation?
I completed my graduation in 2021.
Right. So from 2021, or I think you started your career a bit before that, when you were pursuing your degree. So
Yeah, yeah. I
from
got
there,
the internship with CyberSapiens. Yeah,
yes. So from there to now, where you are a security engineer, can you just share us your journey, in terms of your career? Okay, now we understood how you got into degree. It was not by choice, of course, in the
yeah,
beginning. You confused forensics with the medical forensics,
yeah,
and then you got to know that okay, this is a different forensics, so that's clear. Now coming to a career point, and now you are working at this company. So how has been your journey? Can you please share your experience and your journey here?
yeah. Sure. When I got to my college, it was the main thing. They only teach the theory stuff, and like it's not about ethical hacking or digital forensic. I mean, the forensic part was good, but in the information
Mhm.
security, it's not that the cool thing, the cool hacking
Mm.
stuff. It was mainly on the corporate security or the compliance,
Mhm.
the ISO, PCI like that. All the theory stuff and some basics. They put some like some programming languages and some networking, computer science. So I got first thing I did was getting my basics correct. I did that. Then I
Okay.
completely shifted to ethical hacking. I knew that the theory stuff on the compliance part or the digital forensic was not the thing I am here for. So I need to be
Mhm.
in ethical hacking. But yeah, so once I get my basics correct, I did a lot of online courses through Udemy, through Internship,
Mm.
and I got my skills on web application penetration test. So that's how I started my hacking career. And after my graduation, I applied for the internship in CyberSapiens, and of course, I got that. So that was an pretty much an luck for me. So after that, the things that the ethical hacking shift I did, and that's where the opportunity was. And of course I learned by doing labs in for a lot of in TryHackMe in one hub and all. But the real test I did was I think it was for the in the Institute of Science, the project we had. So that's
Yes.
my first, application test. And from there, I got the confidence that I can, find
Mhm.
some pretty good bugs in the application. So that boosted my confidence. And then I tried out, some bug bounty programs, not in HackerOne background, but through Google Docs and, getting some private
Mhm.
programs. And,
Parent
you know,
programs, yeah.
I found a couple of bugs. And so that's how I started, everything. And yeah, went well.
So initially you worked with CyberSapiens, and then you've came to this company, right? Crossbow Labs. This
Yeah,
is your
yeah,
second company,
yeah.
right? So how did you get into this job? What were the skills requirement in terms of interview, in terms of the company's expectation from your knowledge and from your skill standpoint? Can you share about that?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I got this opportunity through LinkedIn. I kept a very updated LinkedIn profile. I put out the bug bounty certificate. I mean certificates I got, the bounties I got, the courses I did. Everything was up to date on LinkedIn. So one of the HR from the company just viewed my profile, and the next day I got an call from her and told that there's an opening for an VAPT position. So would you like to do an interview? And next day I got the interview, and it was pretty much an advanced level. If you think it's an entry position job, you are going with the all the courses
Mm,
and all. It's not like that. The first thing they ask is that do you have any practical experience and all.
mm,
So yeah, the practical experience from the CyberSapiens and the bug bounty helped me, because that was the only practical experience I had. But I have some bugs to show which I found. So that
yeah.
really helped me. And yeah, so I did a lot of certifications. I mean, not that much big professional level certification, but a lot of
Mhm.
courses and things.
Mm.
So by that I covered all the thing. The theory was covered, the basics was covered. I had an practical experience to show. So that's how I landed my job.
Very good. And can you tell more about your current role? Like, what do you do? On what platforms do you do test? What exactly, is your role into
Yeah.
VAPT, SOC, or what type of work? And yeah, just your
So currently,
responsibilities.
I'm in security engineering, which means the VAPT part. So my initial career, my day-to-day job was to handle multiple clients for the VAPT. Where they will be having web application, they will be having network, internal network, external network IPs. So that was my day-to-day current job, like
Mhm.
maybe an internal audit, maybe an external audit or web applications. So finding bugs, it's a step-by-step procedure, like not completely different from bug bounty. So,
Mm.
you test, you interact with the client, you make final
Yeah,
reports, you help them mitigate the issues. So that was my initial stage. But currently, right now, I am solely, committed to a single client. I'm on site there. So in Kochi, I'm working as an on-site spoke for a big organization, PCI certification, and we do the,
wow.
VAPT and make sure they have their certification.
Very good, Vivek. So VAPT, that's what you are into, and not just on web application, but network, infra,
Yeah,
anything you're given, you do it, you pick it up.
yeah,
That's something that you wear, what you wear when you're working with CyberSapiens, and that's what you are now do. I think
yeah.
that is what has been helping you in your career, right? Always taking up things and new things, learning new things, right? That's what. Um, so what's your favorite part of the job? What do you like more out of whatever you're doing? It's like a lot of work that is divided, right? It's not just VAPT, as you said, like giving remediation, talking to the clients, helping them with the mitigation, retesting, finding bugs.
Yeah.
Lot of things are there, explaining clients about the bug. So out of all these and the other activities that you're doing, what's that one thing that you like the most?
The thing I like the most is the enumeration and researching part. Like you do your enumeration and you always find something you don't know. So the main thing is
Hmm.
that there will be for every penetration test there will be some bugs you are good at. So you'll be definitely going for that first. But there will be some things you see as new. For example, I found some couple of protocols even that I don't know. Not no courses have covered that or no labs have covered that. There's a protocol called ICSI, which is used a protocol for backup devices and NAS.
Mm.
There's Modbus, which is used for SCADA and industrial control systems. So that kind of protocols, that kind of new stuff will always hook you up, and when you have that mentality to research, you don't know the time flies. You always
Yes.
try to study that, try to exploit that, and so yeah, that's my favorite part.
Very good point, Vivek, because information gathering is something which I see people, missing out a lot. They never
Yeah,
do information gathering. And this is for the viewers, if you are trying to begin your career and doing testing, make sure you do proper information gathering. Your entire VAPT depends on the step one, which is information gathering, right? If you miss
yeah,
information gathering, then you'll not be able to do it. Because I have seen people, they find some subdomain and they just end it up there and they start to dig up the do something on there. They find one vulnerability and they go there. They miss out the information gathering.
yeah,
So important thing is complete information gathering. Make a note wherever you find, and then you go with the next one, right? However, it's up to you how you want to take it, but information gathering is something which has to be done mandatorily. And Vivek has shared a very important point here, which also connects to the research part,
yeah.
right, Vivek? So researching and information gathering are somewhere connected to each other, and I think that's what keeps you motivated and learning new things, right? Okay. So how do you spend your professional life? Like, how do you try to keep a balance between your work life and your personal life? Are you like too much of into work, or like how do you spend your professional life?
Uh, Actually, in initial part of my career, it was difficult to find time for myself. As a beginner, you don't know stuff. You have to research a lot. You have to study individually, a lot of stuff. So I was lacking time. When I log in at 9:30, I have to work till 11 or 12 to complete, work, because not a single work. You'll be handling multiple
Yeah,
projects. So even if
yeah.
you complete the testing, you have to make the final reports. You have to do the meetings.
Mm,
So it was
mm,
pretty much, difficult in the initial stage. But later I understood that, more than that, your health and your thing is important. Not only that, even if you're, very much interested in cybersecurity and you do a lot of research and, it drives you, in a very good way, still you'll be
yeah,
burned out at the end of the day. It's 100% sure. So you have
yeah.
to keep a balance. So for me, it's, some physical exercise and some, maintaining good health. Even there are some times I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to do some penetration test, because for the client I do, there's something called point of sale, which they
Mm-hmm.
only allow to test at the night where there is
Yeah,
no customers.
yeah,
So I, wake up at that time, maybe 2:30 or 4:30, according to the region I handle. So, I put some scans, I do some physical activities, go for a run. And, so that's the thing, you can't sit, in front of the remote for, long period of time. So you need to find a balance. So for me, it's, physical exercise. Near my, the office, it's a tech park. So a lot of physical activities are there, like football turfs, shuttle. So that's the my thing to go. So yeah, and it really helped me a lot because it resets you in a good way. Because
yeah.
even if you are burnt out and you need some rest, go for a run or go for a match, and the next day you are fresh, and the all the barriers you found in the yesterday, it will be cleared in the today. So that's the thing.
Yeah, uh, and see, it's when you're into this researching thing and all, it never ends, right? You need to
Yeah,
know where you have to stop.
stop it.
And in the initial days of career, I mean, in cybersecurity, in the initial days of your career, you will have to spend more time because there are
Mm.
so many things that you'll come across, right? So the more you spend initially, the more easy it will be for you in the long run. In terms of your promotion, it could be in terms of taking up new things. So in the beginning, there will be a lot of things to learn. I think, I've seen people not investing their time in researching and understanding concepts. They find some bug and they into, they think that they are big, bug hunters and security experts, which is wrong. It's a journey. It doesn't you cannot complete it within a month or 6 months or something like that. So you needs time. But yes, of course, the work-life balance is also required, and you do that by spending your time in your personal activities, playing physical games and so on, which is really required, right? So what are your career goals? Like, what do you want to be in this domain? Like, where do you want to reach?
Yeah, so my current thing is that to get two professional certifications. So actually,
Hmm.
one is the OICP for the technical
Hmm.
side, and one is the CISSP for the management level
Hmm.
side. So my seniors and my managers told me that if you have an OICP certification and a CISSP, you will be golden, because not of
Yes.
people have that
Yes.
combination where they have technical skills and the management skills. So it's
Yes.
I mean, and if you just do your research and if you know about it, you know that both OSCP and CSSP is hard to pass. So you have to put a lot of work to reach
Yeah.
that goal. But currently, I'm chasing behind these two.
Very good. Very good. So what were your initial challenges, Vivek, in your initial days of your career, that you were facing, which you still face? Is there anything like that which you were facing earlier and you still face that? Anything like that?
Um, Actually, the initial stage it was finding time for myself. I was really burned out and all. But
Mm.
right now, I'm finding that balance right now. And
Mm.
the misconception about the cybersecurity is that it's all technical. It's not.
Yeah.
There will be you'll be spending a lot of time in meetings, and the thing is that the job is not over when you find vulnerabilities. You have to help the client in fixing, well,
Yes.
help to fix the vulnerability. You have to explain the bug. You have
Yeah.
to, point out where exactly is the settings to
Mm.
disable that. So it's a long journey to learn, how to hack and how to fix that. So to do that, I spend a lot of time, but it's
Mm.
worth it. But if you find, like I said, if you are able to cut off from the work at a specific point of time, then
Mm.
it's really a good skill to soft skill to have. So initial stage, I
Mm.
was very much struggling to find that, but right now I'm finding that, and right now. Challenges is still, I'm handling an pretty big
Mm.
organizations, duty. So, even if I'm in a week off for, an emergency leave, there'll be continuous, team messages and calls you'll be, getting. So, so that's the one thing you need to, understand in cybersecurity. But if you are able to find that, that gap, then so
Yeah. But since this has become your passion now, right? This has become
yeah,
your interest. So I think it doesn't burden you as such, but yeah, there's that worry which which you want to give time to yourself or to your family, right? I think that's something which you have to do. But yeah, in terms of if you look at this as your passion or interest, you're not, I don't think you have to fight within yourself
no,
to choose here and here, right? You
yeah,
just do it.
yeah,
You don't regret because you worked extra, or you don't regret because you spend time in your
yeah.
personal stuff extra, right?
Mm.
So that's being balanced, and that's a important thing. Talking about about the skills, right? So I know you, Vivek, what skills you have, like so can you share our viewers what skills are required? I mean, I'm not talking about the advanced level, okay? So the audience here would be beginners or who are trying to begin their career or have started just their career. So from this standpoint, what you think are the most crucial and the basic level skills? You can make 2 3 points also if you want, and you can just share what are the crucial skills that are required.
I will divide that into two kinds. So coming to
Hmm.
technical stuff, get your basics correct in your the computer, like operating
Hmm.
system, networking, and how even start from how computer boot up to, and the original level. So get your basics correct, then move on to the information gathering, vulnerability assessment, and that kind of stuff. So
Hmm.
the things that do a lot of courses and get the basics and techniques correct. Find a
Hmm.
methodology that suits you. There are a lot of methodology around there. So technically, that's the stuff, and anybody can, if you have the mind and if you have the passion, anybody can build technical skills. But
Hmm.
the other important thing which a lot of people point out, we miss to discuss is the soft skills in cybersecurity, especially
Yeah.
as I pointed out, it's researching and learning. You have to be,
Yes.
you have to have the ability to learn a lot of new things. And uh, it's not about you know a protocol completely. It's you know the
Mm,
basics, then you have to move on to research and do. And same with the commands or methodology. You can't remember all the commands, so you need to know where to find them. That's it. It's and Google is the best friend for that. So researching is an important soft skill to have. The next thing is that communication skill.
mm,
The main thing is that even if you do a small, audit or a small, VAPT activity, you have to interact with the client, whatever also. So you have to, explain the bugs, and you have to help them mitigate the bugs. They'll call you at any time, and you have to, able to communicate them without any hesitation.
mm.
So communication skills is a very, a needed skill in cybersecurity. You'll be
Yes.
spending a lot of time in meetings and discussion. So that's the thing. And I say discussed earlier, it's not about the hacking or the
Mm,
penetration testing, or it's also about helping them mitigate. So you
yeah.
also need to know the blue side of cybersecurity. Even there is a lot of threat teamers and all, so they knew the blue side also. So you need to help them, how to make a firewall role correct, how to
Mm, mm.
disable some specific things. You say that there's a DNS vulnerability, so you need to point out to the client that this is where you need to make the settings. So that's an important skill to have. So the main thing is that combine your technical, get your technical skills correct, and then combine that with your researching and communication skills, and then you are way ahead of most of the people.
Yes, very good point, Vivek. Because when I talk to people, when I talk to clients, who are not from the not from cybersecurity, even they are from IT maybe or non-IT, they feel cybersecurity to a bit irritated kind of. And the
Yeah.
the the reason for that I see is we are not able to make them understand,
Yeah.
right? That's where the soft skills that you mentioned, the communication is very much important.
Yeah.
As a security professional, it doesn't end at the point where you're finding something, right?
Yeah.
You have to make them realize the criticality or the sensitivity of the risk, the impact, what
Yeah.
what loss it could make, how is it gonna make it. Because as a technically, you can't make a non-technical person understand using
Yeah.
the technical terms. You have to come to a very using layman words. And so do you find challenges, or did you find challenges in this communication, the soft skills? Was this a challenge for you, and if so, how did you overcome this challenge?
Actually, when I joined my current company, it was initial days in handling the client was bit as I'm an introvert, I don't like to talk that much, but it was a little bit. But I the CyberSapiens, I mean, again, I have to give the credit to CyberSapiens, because when I was doing my internship, Shacklin, and you gave me a lot of opportunity to take sessions. So that
Yeah.
helped me a lot of confidence. I think when I talked to an a large number of people was through the sessions in CyberSapiens. So taking sessions, you study one topic, and you teach that to others. So that's how I learned communication skills through sessions. And the first interaction was also I think I remember we two went out to the IA, but the Institute of Science people to
Yes, yes, yeah.
help them to mitigate the vulnerability. So start small, and you will gather definitely the confidence, moving on. So as I mentioned, for the freshers, the best way to improve your communication skills is to taking sessions and
Yes.
teaching other people. So study one topic, and teach that verbally to other people. The main thing
Mm,
is that breaking down the high technical stuff, and make understand the normal people, to understand that. That's a very good skill you can, and that's a much needed skill in cybersecurity. Even though with 20 years of experience, IT people don't know
yeah.
the cybersecurity jargons we point out to them.
Yes.
So you need to put that in very simple language. You need to pinpoint the correct point to them. So that's a very good skill to have to improve that. Take opportunity for public speaking,
Mm,
even though you have some any stammering issues or confidence level issues. Start the first session. That's from there you can build it up, and move on. So that's the thing.
yeah. So we have made it mandatory for all the interns and trainees who join us that they have to be taking presentations.
Yeah.
Sometimes people say, no, no, I don't want to take. I'm having stage fear. I don't know. So
Uh,
we tell them, okay, don't come live. Do a recording and then send us.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's how we are trying to motivate them. So small things, as you said, like 5 minutes session presentation you give, record it and send. Then we
yeah.
give them more, and then we bring them to the audience. And yeah, I think that's what is helping and very much required. So this is one point that you mentioned, which helped, which CyberSapiens help you. Can you point out a few more pointers that has helped you when you were doing the internship with us, when you worked with us? Because we involve into a lot of activities, which could be blog writing, presentations, bug hunting. We involve. But sometimes, as a fresher, as a beginners who are watching us, they do not actually realize the value of these small activities that we're giving. It
Mhm.
could be writing a blog on LinkedIn, it could be connecting with someone or anything like that. So just to make the people understand the seriousness and the impact of these activities, can you share a few more points which helped you, which were assigned by CyberSapiens and that has helped you and that is still helping you? You can just share.
Yeah, the first thing is that the practical experience I got from CyberSapiens. The way the CyberSapiens team give the freshers a website to test. So that's an wonderful thing. Even if you have, even if that, and 10% have tested that website, still you have having an opportunity to test a real website, and you may find something, different. So even if that's a duplicate bug or something like that, take the opportunity to find or test real website. It's completely different from the lab environment. So get your practicals correct, then the communication skills, as I mentioned earlier, do some first stand in front of the mirror and talk, and then the recordings whenever the cybersecurity team give you an opportunity to present something or take a session, take that. Everybody's learning from together. So even if you have mistakes, we are all here to learn. So that's the thing. Other thing which really boosted my career is was the and research which was given by the cybersecurity. I think it was you and Shaklan which to do some malware analysis stuff. So I was really missed out. I was completely concentrated on BAPT, but when I assigned that task, it was completely optional. You don't need to compulsory do that. But I had an opportunity to learn a new topic. So I learned a lot of new things in that. I learned a lot of things in malware analysis about a tool called Yara, how to find IOCs and
Mm.
things like that. And now I am also a malware analyst. You can say I know how to find bugs, dynamic and manual things. But I started that
Wow.
way earlier with the Cybersapient teams with a small task. And that's the thing. Other important thing is that keep your LinkedIn up to date. So yeah, I was searching for a lot of jobs, and the current company just called me by viewing my LinkedIn profile. So that was completely I was not expecting that, but it was due to a great LinkedIn profile. So even if you do a small course, just update that on LinkedIn, get your skills correct, do some bug bounties, and share that with the LinkedIn profile, and get your networking skills correct. You can follow a lot of cybersecurity professional and a lot of cybersecurity groups which can give you a lot of
Yes.
opportunities. So these are the 4 points which helped me, the small building blocks that which we went through. Yes, and it really helped me in my career.
Thank you so much, Vivek. And okay, this is a bit different question now. So I don't know if how applicable this would be. So when you initially began your career, no, not your career, your studies in your journey, I would say, in the cybersecurity by taking up your graduation, or before starting your with your graduation. Was there any misconception that you had initially, which maybe after when you took up your career, maybe with CyberSapiens or with the current company, Crossbow Labs that you're working with, were there any misconception that you had as a non-professional and which got cleared after getting into a professional environment? Was there anything like that that you can share? Any funny thing or something?
Actually, the misconception was that it's a high technical job, but it's not. That's why the hard hitting for me. Even, as I told, that time I was a little bit introvert sided, and I just thought just find bugs, sit in front of the computer, find bugs, give a report to them, and your job is done. But that's not the case. Even if you start a testing, you have to give an you'll be first getting. I will explain step by step for an pen test. First you'll be getting a call from the client and they will
Mm,
give you the web application demo, and then you have to present that to your VAP team,
mm,
colleagues, and they will give you the feedbacks, and then you have to find bugs, you have to make a final report, and then you have to again present that to the client. So it's not that easy, find bugs and forget like bug bounty. It's completely different. There's a lot of step by step process you have to maintain for the quality of your company and your testing process. So that's the thing.
mm.
There's a lot of communication and a lot of discussion happening. And the next thing I would say is that even though a lot of blogs and a lot of YouTube videos say that there is a lot of 2 million opportunities in cybersecurity and all. Yes, there is. But thing is that are you apt for that? That's the question. Even if you just got a cybersecurity background or a
Yeah.
degree, you are not directly gonna get into an entry level job. You need to have a practical skill. You need to have some skills they are looking for. So
Yeah.
that's an important thing, which I, which diverse from the, reality they put out in. But
Mm.
in real case scenario, it's different. Even if you are, there's a lot of entry level jobs which higher pressure, but somehow they'll be asking you, do you have any practical knowledge to show? So that's an, important thing to keep in mind. The labs and certification, even if you're CEH and if you don't have practical,
Yeah. There's no
experience,
point of having certificate.
yeah, so that's hard to create. Certifications are not really entry level thing for this practical thing.
Yes. I ask this misconception because, usually everybody who wants to become a cybersecurity expert or an ethical hacker thinks has lot of misconception, the student, the freshers, and likewise, when you began your career, maybe you also had it and you've rightly pointed out a few things. So I think if for those who are watching us, if you also have similar misconception, I think that's clear for you now. And usually people sometimes they don't know anything, when they move, when they hear like a hacking, they think like, okay, this is some hacking stuff, they don't
Mm.
have an idea at all. It's very important to have an idea. So the people who are joined, you can also ask your questions. I have one question. After this, I would open up for the audience to ask anything that you want to. So please be ready with your questions that you want to ask. So Vivek, before we go with the audience, my next question is: initially, you said that you tried with private bug bounty programs and not bug crowd and so on, right? So any specific reason to try for private bug bounty rather than going for Bakrot from your perspective? And secondly, how is it different? Are they like, or are they different, or is it gonna make any difference? Which one should one try for? Whether they have to go for private bug bounty. If private bug bounty, then why? If they have to go for bug crowd, then why? Can we just elaborate and share your experience on this particular point?
Yeah, for me, the perspective was, very clear. Like the main point is that less crowd. If you go for,
Mm,
bug crowd or hacker one, there are a lot of, experts and elite league people, testing the same website you test. So chances are,
mm,
pretty much less, I say, but you can try your chance. I'm not, against that. But in an, private program, if you, there are a lot of Google Docs you can find,
mm,
through the internet or GitHub. There are a lot of Google, Google Docs for bug bounty.
yeah.
Use that, and you can go deep as you like, and you can find and private programs for you. Which it's not about the money, but about a platform to test. Like you are testing a real website. When you find a bug, you are getting an recognition from them. Maybe it's a certificate, maybe it's just an appreciation or thanks. So it's the main thing is that as a beginner, I will be suggesting use Google Docs and go for the private ones. But and if
Mm,
you later then if you have the confidence that I can compete with others and find some cool bugs, then move on to hacker one and bug crowd. And the main thing is that don't concentrate on the bounty you get, concentrate on the bugs you can find. And so for me, that was the main reason to I don't need to go for the too much crowded area. I need to go for the areas which I have the opportunity and find some bugs. So that was it.
Yeah. Thank you, Vik. Because I asked this question, this one person who asked me where I should focus on. I also gave the same answer to the person, the same thing what you said. And the person came back to me after a few weeks and said, like, Robin, you told me to work on this one. I've reported. I'm not getting any bounties.
Uh,
So, and I see people working on Buckroad and they get bounties. Here, the
yeah.
chance of getting a bounty. Then I asked that person, were you able to find and report? Then
Mhm.
the person was like, yes, I was able to find. And I said, like, that is more than enough for you. You are able to find something that itself is the bounty for you. And
Yeah.
the person was very beginner, right?
Mhm.
So you covered that point also. Don't go behind bounty. Bounty, anyways, it will get as an initial
Yeah.
days of your career. Focus on finding something and reporting. It doesn't matter you get a bounty or not. In the initial days of your career, finding a bug itself is a bounty. Should be
Bounty for
a bounty or a reward that one should take it as, right?
you. Yeah.
Um, so I think you also focus on finding a bug, Vivek, right? Rather
Yeah.
than not focusing on bounty, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Actually, that's the thing. My goal was to make an practical skill I am able to show. So that was the thing I was running behind, and for that, these kind of bug bounty programs was the thing, and it really helped me. When the interviewer asked me, "Do you have any experience?" I can show the bug bounty experience. It's not the if you get a bounty from there, you're not I mean the showcasing is less, but I was able to show
Yeah.
that certificate, that recognition that I got from the private program in my interview, and that's the thing you need to follow. The opportunity. If you are test the skills, then you must make sure that you have the right skill, and that's the bounty for you. And then you can eventually move on to chase the money. Not problem in that, but as I said, first make your basics correct.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Vivek. Audience, any questions anyone has, you can straight away ask to Vivek, and he would be able to help you out. Anyone has any questions to ask, anything that you want to ask, you want to know more about Vivek, his career, anything? Let's wait for a few 2 minutes, Vivek. If
Yeah,
anybody has, then they will. You can just unmute yourself, guys, if you have any questions.
Hello, sir.
Hi,
yeah, hi.
Bhavesh. Go ahead.
Yes, good evening, Robin sir, and good evening, Vivek sir. Sir, I
Yeah, hi.
actually had a doubt, like not a doubt, but like a curiosity that I have seen some pen testers, right? After 2 or 3 years of experience, they would shift or like change their job to
Mhm.
being as a security consultant or like a security researcher. So I personally, I don't have any experience as a pen tester, right? So I can't jump like so I had this curiosity, like if you know, why would people do that?
Actually, maybe the main thing you need to understand is that security engineering or the BAPT process is highly technical, combined with some communication skills. But security consulting is the opposite. The main thing is that you don't need to have technical skills at all. You need to just need to know the theory stuff or the basic stuff. Your job is to maintain maybe your tools will be in mostly on Word and Excel and meetings, consulting with people, understanding about the ISO certifications or PCI certifications. So mainly it's on the theory and the management level side with security consulting, but the VAP side is highly technical. So it maybe the people want to move from a technical point to a management level side and concentrate on auditing. And the main thing about security consulting is that you need to go to on site and you need to verify some reports, the final reports that the security team is giving, the their log list, their the couple of reports. So it's more about the management level skill in consulting. So that's the thing. Maybe they are they don't want the technical stuff. Maybe they want to get to a management level job. So I think that's it.
Just to add on to this, Bhavesh, this should give you an idea of how open the cybersecurity market is. There are a lot of opportunities. It's not just with VABT. People consulting, analysts are there, threat hunting is there. As you said, people are also moving to research. So there are companies like Kaspersky and product-based
Yeah,
companies like Splunk, IBM, and a lot of product-based companies who want people who are into researching.
yeah,
Research and development part. So the opportunity is really, really vast. Okay.
that's true.
It all depends on how skilled you are. Doesn't matter what type of skill. For every skill in cybersecurity, there is a career opportunity
Yeah,
somewhere or the other. Okay. It could be even with the blog writing, it could be with content making, it could be on researching, malware analysis, signatures. I mean, it's like a huge, the opportunities are too much, and that's where people just find a way, it's based on their interest and the opportunities that comes up, they just take it up. I hope that, answers and your question, Bhavesh.
Yes, it does, sir. It does, sir. So it's basically it's like people, if they prefer it more, they will switch it, right? Obviously.
Exactly.
yeah.
That's all the opportunities are. So many opportunities.
Yeah, once you get into the cybersecurity and get to your, basics, there are a lot of cybersecurity jargon. So if you understand that, then you can move on to any field. Like, if I want to, swap from VAPT to SOC, I can do that. I just need to understand the basics and, the how to use that specific tool. So that's it. The diversity in cybersecurity is very much, big, and you can
Yes.
move to any role. So yeah, you can, switch to different roles, based on your interest.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you
Bhavesh,
so
for
much,
the
sir.
question. Yes, thank you, Bhavesh. Anyone else has any questions to ask? Okay, if you have, please raise your hand so that I can let you to ask your question. So Vivek, it was really nice to hear from you, Vivek. A lot of things you have shared. LinkedIn, use of LinkedIn is something
Yeah.
which I think I will have to repeat it for the audience. I got my first job with Infosys as a security engineer through LinkedIn. And so did you got your job also, your career as well. A lot
Yeah.
of people who get job in through LinkedIn. It's all about make utilizing. It's you. I mean, there was a person. I would like to share here. He was like, we as we say, use LinkedIn. The person, he was using LinkedIn, but he was not active in terms of he was
Mhm.
not even liking, he was not commenting nor posting anything. He was just scrolling it. I was like, how do you
Yeah.
use LinkedIn? And then he came back and told that, no, I just use it. I said, no, that's not
Mhm.
how you use. You have to be interactive on LinkedIn. There are
Yeah.
so many posts that you can comment, you can share your thoughts, you share, you like, you share your post, you share your achievements, any small achievement, you share your thoughts. That's how you keep your LinkedIn profile active. So use of LinkedIn, researching skills, self-learning, having your basic understanding clear, doing bug hunting, working on soft skills, uh, making sure that you do proper information gathering. These are some of the few key takeaways which I would like to highlight, which I think our audience has understood and learned from you, Vivek. So there's someone is raising their hand. Sorry, I can't see your name, but you can unmute and please ask your question.
Hi, this is Karthik.
Yes, Karthik, go ahead.
My question is how many years of experience do you need becoming a CISO officer?
It's you need a minimum of 5 years experience. They tell that, and you need a couple of certification like CASSP. More than that, in CA, CISO, it's not about the technical skills; it's about the management skills.
Yes.
And but you need to understand a lot of security jargon. You need to able to architect a lot of security gateways. So it's you need to have a knowledge on a variety of cybersecurity skills. Like you need to know the VAPT, you need to know the consulting side, you need to know the SOC side, and then bringing all that under one umbrella and working your I mean making your team work together. So it's all about management skills, but you need to have a certification like CSSP and minimum of 5 years of experience. So I think Robin can answer that, very much better than me, because he's, into that. He's an cybersecurity advisor.
Yes, you said it right, Vivek. Minimum 5 to 7 years of experience is what companies ask for. And it's not just into one domain, as you said, it's not just with the technical, it's also with the management, operational, decision making, very
Yeah.
important, skill that is required for a CISO decision making, because there are a lot of, tools, there are a lot of process that are required. So what tool you implement, what type of process do you put in place? So the decision making, having a team, building a team management,
Yes.
leadership, operational skills, documentational skills, technical skills, the infrastructure knowledge, the lot of things are there from these points. And I think if you want to become a CISO, then my one of my suggestion would be to work with multiple companies, right? When you work with many multiple companies, you get an understanding of different process. Okay, you get an understanding of lot of things. You get to learn from many companies. That doesn't mean you keep switching, but yes, you have to be knowing when you have to switch, right? So that's one thing. But otherwise, yeah, minimum 5 to 7 years of experience is required, and it's not just into one domain. You need to have an experience and understanding of multiple domains that other, entire 360 of cybersecurity you should be knowing. Does that help, Karthik?
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, anything? Okay, fine. So Vivek, at the last, any suggestions that you want to give our audience? Any few tips that you would like to share to your these are basically, like your juniors, I can say. So any advice, any tips that you would like to share before we wind up?
Yeah, the main thing is that make use of every opportunity you have on any field. Like I said, I was mainly considered to be APT, but when I got a malware analysis opportunity, I make use of that. So like that, try different, try different and multiple things in cybersecurity, and understand what suits you. Is it's a
Yes.
management level consulting, or is it researching and malware analysis, or is it finding bugs in through VAPT and enumeration techniques? So make sure the job, or the thing you choose suits you. So that's the one thing. Otherwise, you'll be burned out, in a short period of time. So that's the thing. And then, as I said, do a lot of online courses, and learn every day. Show that on your resume and your LinkedIn, and get some certifications also. Even a lot of people say that certification is a myth, but if you need to pass the HR level, and you need a certification. And it also, a lot of certification right now are concentrating on practical skills. Earlier CEH and couple of certification was mostly on multiple level questions, but right now the even the entry level certification like PNPT or EJPT are on practical skills. So
Mhm.
do labs and make your hands dirty. Do a lot of manual enumeration. Go to the real world and fuse some, do some bug bounties and all. And if you are not that good at web, you can try out different network level penetration tests. You can find a lot of network level penetration testing projects on freelance.com or Upwork. So take that. Even if you don't get in the first bit, it takes a lot of time to to make an ground in something. So even if you fail at something, try hard, and learn how to learn new things daily, and go for it. So that's the thing. And even with the technical skills, make sharp about your soft skills too. So then only you can
Yes.
survive cybersecurity.
Yes. Very good, Vivek. I hope you also uh, found this interesting. I think you've given us a lot of information, your journey from who wanted to get into the biological side, came into the cyber into the IT, and then in cybersecurity you have put on a lot of efforts, Vivek, a lot of hard work you have put, and that's what has brought you here. And with that, I would like to thank you, Vivek, for accepting our request and joining this security talks, spending your time, your valuable time, and on behalf of the CyberSapiens team, I would like to thank you, Vivek, for sharing everything and for your valuable time again. I hope the audience has been able to grasp a lot of information from here. I wish you a good luck, Vivek, in this journey, and maybe in a few years we will have another talk with you where you would
Yeah.
be OSCP certified, you will be CISSP certified, maybe you become a manager, and you be at a very good position, and you have lot more things to share, right? So I wish you a very good luck for that journey, Vivek, and good luck, Vivek. Thank you so much.
Yeah, actually, thank you, Robert. It's my privilege, thinking about me to, share my experience, and I'm still very happy that CyberSapiens, you and we are still interacting in one way or the other. So I'm really happy to that, and all this for you and the whole, our team of CyberSapiens. Thank you.
So, buddy, thank you so much, buddy. Take care. Thank you, audience,
Yeah,
for joining. Bye
yeah.
bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
thank you.